What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ohio Sports Talk. I am your host, Doug. Obviously, we have Jordan here. Jordan is on site for a track meet, so bear with us if his sound's a little off. We're going to do our very best. Jordan, how you doing, man?
We're doing well, doing well. Just out here on my daughter's track meet. She's kicking ass. She finished first and second, so it's been good.
That's great. Where are you guys? Where's your track meet at today?
We're at Little Miami High.
Little Miami. Okay. What events is she running in?
She is in the 100-meter dash. She is in the 2x4 and the
Okay.
4x4 relay.
Awesome. Good to see. Good to see her being active and participating in all that. Good to hear. Jordan, we're finally getting into baseball season, man. We're opening day right around the corner. Any thoughts on this time of year? We're getting that warm weather. Pretty excited. What's your thoughts, buddy?
We're Cincinnatians. So opening day is always big. No matter if the team's great, no matter what's going on a payroll, we always come out for it. I'm excited for the city to have their parade. I'm excited for the city to get it rolling. The Reds kind of finished spring training with a few knick-knack injuries, especially in the bullpen.
Yeah,
but I
we'll
think they're
definitely
going to
touch on
get.
that today.
I think they're gonna do well. We'll touch on that. Hunter Green looked great on the mound yesterday in limited time.
Yep.
So the baseball's in full swing, and Cincinnati's here for it. A lot of excitement.
Yeah, no, Cincinnati definitely does a massive job with the parade and all the festivities for opening day. Kind of feels like a holiday. I wish the game was a little bit earlier in the day, maybe a 1:10 start instead of the 4:10 start. But we'll touch on that in a moment, Jordan. Let's get into this. We'll talk on March Madness. Thoughts so far? We're into the Sweet 16, Jordan. What are your overall thoughts on March Madness? And then we'll get more into Dayton, and then we'll touch on the OSU women. What's your thoughts on the tournament so far this year?
I think the tournament's brought everything it's always advertised to be. We saw a couple 11 seeds make it through. We saw some of those upsets, and the teams that we thought were going to be premier have been premier for the most part. So Purdue's looked great moving forward. Their center's playing phenomenal.
Yeah, he's a good player.
A lot of excitement there. I know we took a black eye in Dayton, but all good things must come to an end eventually.
For sure.
The team's hopefully the team will reload. I know we posted up some stats on some wish list for the transfer portal.
Yeah.
And some players are kind of looking our way. So things aren't looking bad. They're going to kick off next season with the Maui, and that looks extremely stacked with a couple ACC teams and above. So
yeah,
a lot of excitement.
Definitely stacked. So Jordan, like you said, Arizona beats Dayton 78-68 in a tough game. Dayton got it down to 3 points in the second half with about 5 minutes to go. Just couldn't get any closer than that. Deron Holmes more than likely ends his Dayton Flyers career with 23 points. 11 rebounds. He had a block, 3 steals, 3 assists, just stuffed the stat sheet against Arizona. Did a little bit of everything. And then, we've got Kobe Brea, hopefully coming back next year. Very well could be an NBA player based on what we've seen from him. He's got the skills to potentially play at the next level. So, it was a good end to the season for Dayton. Won the first round game. Got to play in the second round against a really good Arizona team. It felt like we kind of came back together at the end after some ups and downs during the season. Thoughts on the way they finished, Jordan, before we move on?
A loss is always disappointing, but I can't argue with you. With your thoughts there. Excitement in the first round. They came together. They have a huge comeback. It's going to rank somewhere in the top 5 to top 10 for comebacks of all time for the tournament. So a lot to build on there. And like you said, Arizona realistically is a 2 seed that ended up kind of sliding a little bit when late in the season for their conference. So they brought it as advertised. Arizona was just a more physical team underneath. Dayton didn't hit the big free throws when we needed them to kind of shorten the game up a little bit when they were sending us to the line. But that's March Madness. That's basketball. So hopefully, I think Anthony Grant stays at least one more year. getting into the second round may have kind of saved his job, in my opinion. I'm not saying Dayton. I'm in no way saying Dayton was looking outwards, but from a fans and analyst perspective, I think he was kind of on a short leash with the way Dayton kind of ended the A10 tournament run before the NCAA tournament. So I think there's a lot to build on there. Maybe Deron Holmes' last game, maybe not. If he's projected as a second rounder with the way the NIL money is and stuff like that, he's definitely going to do a comparison. He gotta weigh your options. The big money is always going to be going to the NBA. So if it was his last game, besides missing the free throws, he did it all. He had to carry a team that was struggling, I believe, 23% from the 3-point line, among other things. So my hat's off to Dayton. They did kind of get it together, but too little, too late. Can't do it against a team like Arizona.
Yeah, no, well said, Jordan. Like you said, hey, NIL, transfer portal, recruiting. It's going to be a fun summer. Try to reload the team and get back out there and make another run. That's all you can do. Jordan, let's move on to the Ohio State women who lost to Duke in the second round. In my opinion, Ohio State, we posted this on the Twitter. They had a falling off after that Iowa loss to end the season. It never felt like they got back to the team that we saw during the year. What are your thoughts on the Ohio State women kind of going out early?
Yeah, I was disappointed. I really thought that they would make a deeper run. And in that game loss, I mean, they were up at 12 points at 1 point and a half. So it did. They kind of crumbled. They kind of kept that Big Ten tournament run where they lost. Kind of kept that mentality where they lost in the regular season, and it was just being up by 12. It was just really disappointing to see that big momentum swing go the other way. I'm not taking anything away from the Duke women's program. They came out to play. The tournament is always there is no tomorrow. Rest in peace to Paulo there, but it was just really disappointing to see. I think it was more of a mental block than talent, because I honestly think the Ohio State women's were more talented than Duke. I thought they would go to the next round, but hopefully they got to take the same page from the book we were saying. Get into the portal, get into recruiting. Women tend to stick around a little bit longer than men, so a lot of the mid-classmen, upperclassmen will probably end up staying around, and that coach will get them back together. But it was nice to see the big run. Nice to see women's basketball in general get the public attention in the media that they kind of haven't had in the last couple of years. Hopefully they can get it together and take that momentum in the next season. So I'll be excited to see it.
Yeah, no, good. Well said. I think they need to definitely make an emphasis on bringing in a center. I thought the big gal for Ohio State really limited them against Duke, especially in that fourth quarter. She just was bad on defense, couldn't hit a shot, seemed a little slow. It just didn't work out there at the end. Shout out to everybody watching. Shout out to KFC. They run a hell of a show for the Cleveland Browns. I'm in a Madden league with him. He kicked my butt last night, but nice guy.
What's going on, boys?
Appreciate everybody tuning in. But yeah, Jordan, like you said, regroup, rebuild, get back out there. This is a portal. The portal is huge everywhere now. So you've got to be ready to recruit, got to be ready to hit that trail. Center's got to be a position of need for the ladies going into next year. The men, let's transition, man, to the men. They're keeping it going in the NIT. They play Georgia. They play Georgia tomorrow night in Columbus. So it was nice that Georgia beat Wake Forest, because we get to stay at home and play another game at the Value City Arena. Thoughts on Ohio State making that run? Dude, we talked about it. Diebler's got the boys playing good ball. This is a foundational piece to keep going and going and going. I just think, you win the NIT, things you get even better. So what are your thoughts on the NIT and how Ohio State's looked so far?
I'm excited. I know the first round of NIT, they looked a little rusty. They looked like, I called it a trap game going into it a couple weeks ago before the NIT kicked off, and they almost fit that mold. I'm glad they battled through it. I'm glad they battled past it, but it's a lot. And Diebler right now, this is a recruiting statement for his regime.
So win NIT, and you can get in the portal. You can look at some of these talented kids in smaller schools, and even some of the bigger ones, and be like, "Hey, we ended the season on an absolute hot streak. We lost the big tournament to the Big Ten tournament winners by a few points. We went into the NIT, we kicked ass, and you can really take that forward. So this is a great start to his regime. So it's a great start for the recruiting. It's a great start for the athletic director department. They can go in and keep building off of that. And the guard play has been phenomenal. It really has been.
It's been really strong, really strong. Love to see that. We're starting to get some Ohio State football talk, which is exciting. This is just a busy time of year. There's so much going on. I'm excited to keep talking, obviously, about just sports, man. Jordan, let's transfer over. We mentioned opening day this week. We know we're getting into that time of year. Let's talk opening day. Reds versus Nationals. We've got the 4:10 start. We know that Frankie Montas is the opening day starter for the Reds. We know he's had some issues last season, but the year before that, he was a really, really strong pitcher. Thoughts on us going with Frankie Montas over Hunter Green to start the year?
I'm a little surprised by it from the organizational standpoint. Hunter Green's been around for a little bit. He's considered an ace by payroll standards.
Yeah.
We know he's been plagued with some injuries. So as much as I wanted to, speak down about him last season, I was kind of shocked that he's not the opener. But I'm still excited. Like you said, they got experience for the opening day starter. He's been around. It's not going to be a big culture shock to him. And I think they're going to bring it. I think they're going to win by their bats. The hitting has absolutely been phenomenal in spring training. They've given up a lot of runs kind of in the back end, but the starters have done well. Ellie Deli Cruz has done well. He's finally kind of figured out how to hit a curveball, where last season that was really that coming into the league he was fire. And then pitchers got to watch some film and get some data on him, and they were throwing him some stuff he never really seen in double and triple A. So this was good to see his swing kind of rebound this spring from that. So all hands on deck. I really think the Reds are going to make a run this season.
Shout out to our boy Darren at Fat Boy Fadeaway. Reds could pull out the Central if young pitching takes that jump, and that's what you're really looking for with this team. Is can the pitching maintain? Can the team stay healthy? Jordan, let's touch on the injuries before we keep going. We've got a laundry list, unfortunately, but TJ Friedel, broken wrist, out indefinitely. Williamson, starting pitcher, shoulder issue. Then we've got Matt McLean, non-throwing shoulder, could end up having to have surgery. Not a timetable on him. Marte, suspended for steroids, 80 games. Arroyo, didn't make the team, but was gonna probably be up pretty soon. Season-ending shoulder surgery. Lodolo, starting the year on the injury list. We cannot catch a break with these injuries, man. Sam Mole is out. It's just we're getting kicked right in the dick to start the season with these injuries. Anything on that list really stand out to you? Because there's some talented guys that we're going to be missing to start the season.
McLean's name sticks out to me the most. He has a lot of experience that we kind of sorely need in a locker room with.
Well, he's our best player last year. As a rookie, he was our best player.
Yeah, we're sorely going to miss his voice, especially with Joey Votto departing. We need all the energy we can get, and that kind of sucks moving forward. The other rotational guys that definitely sucks. The 80 games, I don't disagree with it. Rules are rules, but damn, 80 games, that seems harsh.
You can't be using the juice in today's game.
You can't. Though. You can't. No, you can't. And they made from the Jose Canseco down to Mark McGuire, Sosa, and all those guys that were just on Capitol Hill 5 years ago. maybe
Yeah.
7 years ago. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We know the rules moving forward, and you know, his athletic training let him down. He let himself down, and it really, you know, the Reds gave him a contract, and now we're let down. But I think they're gonna get through it. I'd rather be the injuries right now than on the back end of the season. So we can only get healthier, right? I mean, knock
For
on
sure.
wood.
We can only go up.
We can only go up. So we can only be getting guys back the further that we push into the season. So
Yeah.
Jordan, I think we're gonna be all right.
Okay, let's move ahead to something a little more positive. Obviously, we know Matt McClain out for a while with his injury, but let's take a look at a bright spot for the team. We've got we've got Ellie De La Cruz at shortstop. Jonathan India slides back to play second now. He was going to platoon and do things in the outfield, do a little bit DHing. We've got Candelario at third base. I think he's primed for a big season. Man, if we could get a big year out of Candelario, I think we're going to be in a prime spot. We've got Stevenson starting at catcher. We know he's going to switch out and not going to be every day, but he's going to be taking majority of the starts. And then we got ECS at first. Man, his bat, if he could play a full season with him, I'm thinking maybe could he get the 40 home runs? Like, that's the kind of bat he's got. Outfield, we're gonna, we got the 4-man unit. We got Spencer Steer, we got Benson, we got Fraley, and we got Fairchild. I like that unit. Could it be better? Probably. Thoughts right there on just the position players. What sticks out to you at the position players spot?
Well, Jonathan India is going to be the anchor for veteran leadership in the infield. I'm happy that he's at second. First base, like you said, you hit the nail on the head there. If he can stay hot and still be productive defensively, then CES is going to have something special there. And I'm excited. Do I think 40 home runs is obtainable? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
hope so.
All eyes on third base. Is Candelario going to step up and be the guy, or do you think later on in the season he's going to be replaced?
They paid him a lot of money,
be
man.
seen.
They paid him a lot of money.
We paid him a lot of money, and that worries me with the Reds, because when we pay a lot of money, sometimes it doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
Especially in a bullpen, but that's a separate conversation for another day. But I'm pulling for him. He brings some experience there, and the outfield I'm not overly excited for. I know Stevenson and company, they're going to get it done, but I hope David Bell can just kind of keep that rotation through good and bad and kind of play it out some. But Bell annoys me. He likes to play musical chairs when things start going bad.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of like letting that continuity and familiarity with the players kind of move forward. But this is a new season, so I'm all on board. I think our infield is going to be one of the better infields in Major League Baseball, or at least in NL Central. And the young talent's going to be hot on the bat. It's all about, can the bullpen and the pitching finally come through for the Reds for a full season. So if they answer the call, this individual team is going to be something to mess with in the playoffs.
Facts. Well said, man. Well said. Jordan, let's move ahead a little bit. Again, Thursday Nationals. I got a bet for everybody. I'm going to post it probably Wednesday night on ESPN Bets. They've got the Reds at total runs 4.5. I'm going over 4.5 total runs. I'm going Reds to win money line, and I'm going Ellie De La Cruz to hit a home run opening day. Thoughts on that one, Jordan?
Ellie, 100%. 4 runs with this team right now, and kind of the way that
I think they got to score some runs early.
They've got to, and I think they will. I think the young talent's going to get it done, but I think you're going to see it in a different way. I think you're going to see manufactured runs. I think you're going to see some doubles. I think you're going to see some skilled, some bunts, and a lot of things that we didn't get to see last year on tape. So I think this team's ready to make the next step and manufacture the runs. We're going to get the long ball no matter what from this rotation. But Jonathan India and kind of the guys that have been around a while, I think you're going to see manufacture and bring them in.
Okay. Jordan, last thing before we get out of here. Who is your all-time favorite Reds player?
That's a tough one. I became a self-aware fan in the late '90s, early 2000s. So it was right at the end of the Barry Larkin era. It was I remember getting King Griffey Jr. in the building, regardless of what you feel about his health.
Yeah,
And Adam Dunn, though,
it's Adam Dunn. I thought that's who you were gonna pick.
Yeah, I'd have to go with him because I had. Being youth, I got to watch him in single A Dayton. I got to watch him in a lot of Dayton games. Dayton started a team, and they had some of the biggest hitters in single A history. When Adam Dunn and Willie Mopina and Austin Kearns were on the same squad, that was something to see. So seeing Adam Dunn move forward, it was a strikeout or a long ball, and I love that.
Exciting brand of baseball.
Exciting. It was. You, as a kid, you're mesmerized by it because when you saw him hit. You saw him deliver it. When you saw him strike out, you're rooting for him both ways. So I'd say growing up, it would be Adam Dunn, and then special shout out to King Griffey Jr. because he did bring a lot of media attention, and he put the Reds kind of on the map when it came to being relevant, at least in the media sense.
Yeah, that's fair. For me, I think it is Barry Larkin for me. Growing up, my grandma was a big Barry Larkin fan. Always talked about the way he played the position, played shortstop. And yeah, Barry Larkin, Hall of Famer, won an MVP, won a World Series with the Reds, 12-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 9-time Silver Slugger. Yeah, just the way he played shortstop, dude, he was so damn good. And obviously, I think it's fair to say when King Griffey Jr. came, everybody loved King Griffey Jr. I mean, that was like the dream to have King Griffey Jr. swing. And obviously he came home to the Cincinnati Reds. It went okay. It never lived up to expectations, but Barry Larkin, man, he delivered big time. And he was a damn good shortstop. More modern times, I always enjoyed Brandon Phillips. I like the way he played the position. Defensively, I always thought he was a very fun player to
and shout out to the organization. Brandon Phillips, what a steal. From what was then the Cleveland Indians. Didn't want anything to do with them. And, he came on and he had a couple 100+ RBI seasons. So, he definitely he took Dusty Baker's regime to a whole new level when it came to hitting. So
big and then one more guy I enjoyed always watching play, Pokey Reese at second base. He always had the hat sideways. He always had that swag, and he always was super good at he had that swagger, man. KFC, big Votto guy. Shout out to KFC. But yeah, so just a couple guys that we really enjoyed. Jordan, we've been on here about 23 minutes, man. Want to appreciate everybody who's watching the show, everybody who's helping us build this. We're going to keep pushing. Check us out on YouTube. We're posting shorts. We're posting content there. We're starting an Ohio Sports Talk Facebook. We just want to be involved in sports and keep this going. And obviously, we will be back on Thursday night. Jordan, anything to say before we get out of here, buddy?
No, I do want to circle back around, and we kind of hope the Cavs come out of their slump.
Oh shit!
We got our informational line, so I figured we touch on them a little bit. We hope Donnie gets healthy sometime sooner than later. It was good to see Mobley get some minutes in and get some of the ring rust off. But damn, I didn't think they'd hit the Heat that bad. I kind of expected the loss, but I finally you saw the bench players finally kind of hit a fuse, and I really hoping we get some big time players back in.
Yep, I'm with you on that. Again, Facebook, Ohio Sports Talk, YouTube, Ohio Sports Talk. Keep hitting it. Follow us on X. We appreciate it. We're going to keep doing this. Next Thursday, Jordan won't be at a track meet, so we won't be blasted in the ear with wind. I appreciate everybody. At one point, we had 63 people watching. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. See you guys Thursday night. This has been Ohio Sports Talk.
We'll see you.